Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Glassdoor Reviews with ECRG. Guys, thank you so much for all the positive feedback on the other Glassdoor reviews and for your guys' positive overall reception to all of the videos, but especially this series. I feel like this series is going to help a lot of people learn more about the companies that they are applying to jobs for. And this is something I definitely wish I would have had when I was first coming up in the industry many years ago. So in this video, we're going to cover the world famous IQVIA, formerly known as Quintiles. They are the leader. They are the number one employer in the space, and they have molded and really transformed the industry in a number of ways. They were really one of the first CROs to merge with a company called IMS. Well, actually, let me take that back. They were one of the first CROs to really become more than just a CRO, a contract research organization, because a CRO by itself is just there as a vendor for the sponsor. They are just there to run the trial. But IQVIA does a lot more than that, and we're going to dig into some of that today. So, like I said before, they are the number one CRO. They are the largest CRO, and they have grown to tremendous size over the course of many years. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So, we've got IQVIA here, and the first thing I like to do with these reviews, as you know, is discuss some of the overview things. So we've got over 10,000 plus employees. That's a huge company right there. And they're headquartered right in Durham, North Carolina. And they've been there, I think, pretty much since their existence. Now, the reason why they're called IQVIA is because they merged with a company called IMS. And they were first started as Quintiles, like as it says down here below. Let's go down here. So it says IQVIA is the human data science company, right? They're more than just a CRO. And they realize that you don't want to have your whole business model focused on someone else. The CRO business model is focused solely on the sponsor. If the sponsors decide they don't want to outsource their clinical trials anymore, CROs or companies that are just CROs are going out of business immediately. So they're focused on using data and science to help healthcare clients find better solutions for their patients. Formed through the merger of IMS Health and Quintiles, IQVIA offers a broad range of solutions that harness advances in healthcare information technology, analytics, and human ingenuity to drive healthcare forward. We dedicate our experience, resources, and reputation to help our clients drive healthcare forward. Our talented 55,000 employees are driven. Okay, wow, so way more than 10,000. They got 55,000 employees. Driven, insightful, and deliver a better way of doing things so that our clients can continue to deliver true medical breakthroughs while taking on more complex diseases. So this is a company that's really stood the test of time, and they seem to really be doing the right thing with their business model to become less dependent on CROs with their business model and become more of a force using data analytics to help the clinical research industry as a whole. So they are public. Let's go ahead and get into it down here. The reason why it says 2017 here that they were founded is because that's when the merger was complete between between IMS and Quintiles. And that's when they did the whole rebrand and everything like that. That was in 2017. So let's go ahead and get into the reviews here. Now, a lot of people know IQVIA. See, I still call them Quintiles because that's just such a big brand. But a lot of people know IQVIA for their entry-level roles, the clinical trial assistant role. That's one of the more popular roles that people get into in the industry. And if you want to learn more about that, I'm sure we're going to see some of that in the reviews here. But if you want to learn more about that, you can watch our video on what does a clinical trial assistant do. We talk about that pretty in-depthly there. So if you are applying for that position or want to know more about that position, I definitely recommend watching that video. But I like reading this popular section because, it talks about this section really groups what a lot of people say in the reviews. Like, as you can see, 351 reviews talk about this. So great place to maintain work-life balance. They have benefits and remote work from home. So good. Really, the whole CRO industry as a whole has a lot of benefits and remote work from home, so no problem there. Reduced work-life balance after merger, okay, and then contract, no work-life balance. So they are famous for doing a lot of contracts, actually. One of the contracts that they do is they typically bring on clinical trial assistants for a 6-month contract. No guarantee to be brought on full time, but they kind of like to string you along. So they'll do a 6-month contract, then bring you on another 6-month contract, and then say, you know what, you may not be ready for full-time employment. Let's bring you on for another 6-month contract. And then finally, they'll stop playing around with you and then bring you on full-time. So I've definitely heard stories about that. But if you can get in there full-time, I know some people are able to get in there full-time first thing around, then that's good. So first off, right off the bat, we've got a positive review. Not too much meat here, but pros, your coworkers are actually your friends, very supportive, great team spirit, great working environment, not micromanaged, work-life balance is awesome. I've heard that also. A lot of people do say that their coworkers that work there are actually your friends, so that's good. I am not looking for another employer who won't be for a while. I've been working at IQVIA more than a year. Benefits and remote work from home. Remote work from home can be challenging, and separating your work life from home life, connecting with your colleagues virtually is a skill. They're not lying. Typically as millennials and, younger folks, we have grown up with technology and it has become second nature to us. But even with that, it is a lot better to connect with someone face to face than it is virtually. And even if you have questions and stuff, it's a lot easier for someone to show you how to do things in the office face to face rather than virtually. So they're not lying there. Let's scroll down and see if we can get some meat. I mean, a lot of these are from May 2018. Let's see if we can get to some meaty ones here. A lot of these are, just saying what it is. Good benefits, flexible schedule, not really saying much. So we're going to keep scrolling. Here we go. Here's some meat. Wow. Typical mega corporate. Working at IQVIA more than 5 years. So this is going to be a good one. So pros, vary widely by department, very good pay, flexible work schedule, working from home several days a week, general freedom to get your work done the way you want it to, as long as it's done and customers are happy. So that's good. I mean, I haven't seen much micromanagement action from them, so that's good. Biggest problem is that they are overall very cheap. Despite salary and good bonuses, when you're the biggest CRO in the world, it's hard to show organic growth. And so you have to find ways to scrape together pennies for shareholders. This has led to a lot of offshoring, which makes it impossible to get anything done quickly. You have to wait for someone in Slovakia or China to get back to you. Benefits were destroyed this year with the high deductible medical insurance being implemented. No office perks. You get black coffee and you like it. No employee engagement, worsened by employees working from home. Constant reorganizations, growing pains from the merger. They have reduced the number of buildings from 3 to 2 and now down to 1, which means hot desks for everyone. Not much room for advancement. I haven't had any luck when applying to other departments, but switching jobs within related departments is relatively easy. No professional development. Travel or other expenses are now non-existent unless it's customer paid. Okay, so a lot of good stuff in there. This person, let's see what they say. Project manager. So that's definitely saying something. That a project manager says that. They're going to have a little bit more insight than the average person. I have heard about the offshoring. I have heard that the TMF is actually handled by a lot of people in India, located in India. So the language barrier there can be an issue. And also the time. Working with people in other countries is definitely a skill. And we've talked about that a lot on our channel also, is the nuance and the skill it is actually to work with people in a different country, because they're done for the day by the time it's 11 o'clock for you, when, right before lunch, they're done for the day. And if you have a question or a comment for one of them, they're not getting back to you until the whole next day. So it takes a lot of planning. It takes a lot of, thinking to really get things done, because you've got to think well in advance. before that happens. So that's definitely something. Here's some of the advice that they have. Improve benefits, particularly health insurance and perks. Make your employees feel valued. Stop wasting time on initiatives like internal social media and apps. No one has time for them since we're billable anyway. Good point. Work on providing more information across the company so that we know what the corporation is doing and what services we provide post-merger. I still don't know how to pronounce our new name correctly. So in the interest of full disclosure, I know a lot of people personally who work for IQVIA, and they don't like the name either. And I remember when it first came out, I wasn't a big fan of the name either, just because Quintiles is such a brand. Everyone knows Quintiles. I know I've been to the Raleigh office, and they've got a big building there, and you can like see it from the highway. Everyone knows Quintiles. Quintiles is synonymous with the Raleigh-Durham area. Everyone knows it, and everyone can see it. So I think it was kind of crazy for them to change their name because it has such a big brand and such a big footprint that, you know, everyone knows Quintiles. But it is what it is. So moving on here. Post-merger, still searching for a vision, this person says. I've been working at IQVIA more than 5 years. Very good professionals, market leader, access to multiple areas of interest and service for the pharmaceutical industry. Growth expectations are aggressive and can undermine the value of the delivery. Cultural assimilation still going on after the merger. Okay. See if we can get to some more juicy stuff. And here's one. Unfortunately, downhill since the merger. So this person's from Cambridge, Massachusetts, worked at IQVIA more than 8 years. More than 8 years. So pros, unlimited career options and good growth potential in most areas. You learn a ton. They are a strong leader in most areas they conduct research in, especially clinical trial and real-world evidence studies. Okay, benefits and culture on a serious downhill slide since merger with IMS. Different areas of the company with overlap and services compete with each other rather than collaborate, and this seems to be encouraged. All male leaders, very rare exceptions, at the top in an organization that is probably more than half female in ranks. That's true. A lot of the clinical research is ran by females. So all male leaders, very rare exceptions, at the top in an organization there's probably more. Okay, yeah. Respect for medical and scientific expertise over selling data has slipped. Advice to management. I don't think they'll take any. I was sad to leave the organization, but think it was the right choice. So keep moving on here. I actually had a friend who was at IQVIA. Actually, a lot of people transfer from IQVIA to other CROs, just for the price bump, the salary bump or whatever. But, a lot of people missed it. A lot of people liked the culture there, especially working as clinical trial assistants. A lot of people did like that culture there, and it is different elsewhere. And I think the desk structure at this particular office was conducive to like a lot of talking between people, and I think a lot of people liked that aspect to it. So let's do a few more. So this person says a CRA, been working at IQVIA more than 10 years. Pros, great training, good management. Cons, too much work. Request to do more irrespective that you are meeting your metrics. Advice to management. For frequent requests to do SWATs. Upper management is not fully aware of the issues we are facing with systems, sponsors, and sites. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go down. All right, I'm going to do this last one for this. And then we're going to go into job salaries and interviews and benefits. Clients are important. Your own people are more important, this person says. So pros, work from home flexibility, introduction to different companies' disease areas. Management was horrible. People being asked to work on too many projects at once, not given support they needed. Attention to the client and bending over backwards despite rational, logical input. We'll do one more. See if we can get it semi-juicy at least. Let's keep going. Okay, here's a CRA or clinical. Now let's go see if we can get something else. Okay, here we go. This is from March 9th, 2018. Worked at IQVIA more than a year. They liked the work from home flexibility, unlimited vacation at certain management levels. Wow, this person gets a 15% annual bonus. Wow, that's really good. Cons, all about dollars and cents, willing to let quality employees go for the almighty dollar, inability to take vacation, lack of respect for time when you work from home, was employed during the merger and the merger created extra confusion. Corporate processes are based on the clinical side of the house and hamper the non-clinical business with unneeded process. Loose job descriptions allow for the company to completely rewrite your job description. Large company with, let's see, this person is a project manager. See, yeah, I'm not too sure what they're talking about there with rewriting your job description, but I know many jobs, and I can see project manager also is their job is to kind of fill in for whatever's missing. So if the data manager is coming up lacking, project manager's got to kind of meet them and fill the void there. Or if somebody's coming up lacking, the project manager's got to step in and kind of fill the void. So maybe they're kind of talking about that. Products have no strategic direction. Product strategy is strictly driven by client dollars. Okay. Remember, your true assets are your employees. The customer is not always right. Saying no to your customer is not always a bad thing. And that's a good point. A lot of times CROs do say no to customers. I've been on I've been on a couple studies where the CRO has asked the sponsor to, take their business elsewhere afterwards. And that's why it's important as a sponsor to make sure that you work nicely with the CRO. Even though you're paying for the study, you're paying for everything, that does not mean you should be an asshole. So I'll just leave it at that. So let's see what kind of jobs they have open. Okay. So a lot of jobs in Raleigh. Let's see, do we have no, we don't have the Raleigh filter on. Quality associate. So they got a lot of jobs open. Not surprised, as they are huge. This isn't really that helpful. So we'll go to salaries. So let's see. Consultant, not sure about that. Pharmaceutical sales rep, base 59. Senior CRA, 92K. That's low. As a senior CRA, I want to be well above 100K. 110K. Senior CRA, 96, low. Not too sure if there's any levels above senior CRA, but typically senior CRA at most companies is the top. There's level 1 and 2, but then after that, you're typically going to be a CTL after that, or a lead CRA. So not too sure how they do that. Director, 147, okay. CRA 2, 78K, still a little low. I've seen CRA 1s about 70K, 73K. So CRA 2, you want to see them in the 80s at least. Senior project manager, look, 100K. Dang, that's still a little low. So it looks like they're on the low side here. Senior CTA, that's pretty good. 47,000. That's not bad. That's pretty good. Let's see what else we got here. Project manager, 87K. It's pretty good. Not bad at all. Senior CRA 3. Yeah, that's really low. Especially if you're telling me there is level 3. CRA 1, 59,000. That's pretty good. That's not half bad. But, I mean, that's still on the low side. I'd like to see over 60 if I'm a CRA 1. For sure. Senior CRA 2, once again, a little low. CTA, that's about on par with the CTA role. Low 40s. Project coordinator, not as familiar, but that seemed Actually, that seems like the right-hand person to the project manager. Or they got an associate project manager too. So that's about right, the project coordinator. Let's see what else we got in here. CRA 73. That's more like it for senior A1, for CRA 1. CRA 2 at 72, a little low. So, they're a little on the low side as Glassdoor is showing. We've done other companies where on the high side, Par Excel was on the high side, if I recall correctly. I know for CMA, for in-house CRAs, they were very well. They were very good. So project management analyst, that's pretty good at 58,000. See, intern at $23 an hour, that's excellent. I know a lot of interns that aren't even getting paid like at all. So that's excellent. Associate director, that's pretty good. So let's see, let's do one more page and then we can move on to the interviews. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. CRA, yeah, it's low. All right, well, so basically they're a little on the low side. Not as surprising, but it is what it is. So here, now we're in the interview section. So average difficulty is 2.9 out of 5. So slightly above average difficulty. Most people applied online for getting an interview. 17% employee referral and 17% recruiter. So that's pretty good. Most of the people's experiences were positive. 63% were positive. 18% were neutral. And then 19% said negative. So when it comes to most people were interviewing for the analyst job and consultant and pharmaceutical sales rep. Those were the top 3 jobs that people got interviews for, that according to Glassdoor. And then obviously the higher you get up, CRA, the less amount of people are going to be on here. That's just what it is. And believe it or not, I mean, they got 7 interns on here. Intern is not a very popular role in clinical research. I know there are a lot of people out there that want to be interns, but it's not that popular. Which is surprising because, I mean, like I said, you can pay interns nothing. I know many companies that do have internship programs and they pay them nothing. So it's a good thing that IQVIA pays their interns actually something. So let's see what else we got. Analyst interview. I applied through college or university. I interviewed at IQVIA. The interview process was long but very well structured. They gave plenty of time to prepare and answer the questions which were asked. Very good overall and really helpful. Let's see. Clinic CRA interview. I applied online. The process took 2+ months. I interviewed at IQVIA. Let's see, multi-step interview process, screening interview with HR representative, and then 2 separate Skype video interviews with 2 different line managers. Once an offer was made and I accepted, HR submitted for a background check and drug screen. Okay, that's pretty much standard. Okay, machine learning engineer interview. I applied online. I interviewed at IQVIA. I got a mail from the HR to set up a time in the calendar for an interview. On the day of the call, she asked me some basic questions. Now that's interesting. A machine learning engineer interview. And that's all they asked. But that person did not get an offer, so. Okay. So moving on to the next page. CRA interview. I applied online. Process took about a week or longer. I interviewed at IQVIA in LA. I contacted the recruiter via LinkedIn and then applied online after discussing the company with the recruiter. After the recruiter conversation, I spoke to another recruiter who filled out a questionnaire and then had a Skype interview with 2 managers. They gave me examples and asked me how I could handle situations. Okay. Now here's what you guys want to know. Clinical trial assistant interview. I applied in person. I interviewed at IQVIA. They will ask you many questions regarding how you handle different situations. The process was very straightforward, and they focus on really getting to know you based on the main 5 questions they ask. So, like we've said in a lot of these videos before, behavioral interviewing is huge. Now, as you increase the ranks, they're going to expect you to have more knowledge. So they may not ask as many behavioral questions, but they still want to know how you handle different situations. They still want to understand that. And, that's important. I think that's good, because I think those questions aren't necessarily ones that you can prepare for as much as knowledge-based, but they really give the interviewer a good insight into who you are and how you're going to handle certain situations. So I like those situations, those situational behavioral-based questions. And the best way to handle those is just to answer them honestly. So we're going to keep going here. We'll do about one more. Here's another clinical trial assistant interview. I applied through the college or university. The process took 3 weeks. I interviewed at IQVIA. The process was pretty straightforward. The first round of interviews took place on campus. The interviewer was really nice. The interview was more of a conversation, not really just questions. The second interview was at the headquarters. They gave us a tour of the place, then we did one-on-one interviews. This round was a little more intimidating, but generally pretty easy. Mostly common sense questions. The questions were all what would you do or scenario questions. So it sounds like they're really doing these behavioral based interviews for clinical trial assistant and even some of the other positions as well. So there it is. Now benefits. Let's see. Now this benefits section may not be as up to date because they recently went through this merger, and so they're probably updating it. But they offer standard insurance. This person says great employee plans that let you get $360 towards gym fees or shoes. So that's excellent. They do have a great reimbursement plan. So if you like to work out and have a gym membership, I know that would come in handy for me. They do have that reimbursement benefit. So health insurance, no waiting period, high deductible, vacation and paid time off, good benefit, 2 weeks long vacation is allowed. Excellent. 401k plan. Employer matches 100%. Okay, that's cool. I don't think that's 100%. Like you put in $20,000, they're gonna put in 20,000. I think that's probably up to a certain percent. They match 100%. So maybe like up to like 3% or 5% or something. So. Let's read what this person says. April 23rd, 2018. And I like saying the date just for context here. So if you're listening to this video in, December 2018, okay, this was a while ago. And maybe we'll do these on a recurring basis to catch some of the new reviews and stuff, especially after big things happen at these companies. So every year benefits get cut. Medical, you have to pay a $2,000 deductible. Then the benefits kick in and you pay 20% after that. The other option is $220 a month premium for just one person. It was way better when I first started working here. You get 4 weeks PTO, but they took away 2 floating holidays and 2 personal days. Too many lost benefits to list. Okay. So benefits, pretty standard. The cool thing about them is they do offer that health reimbursement. You get up to a certain amount to spend on a gym membership, $360. And I think that's per year. So you get up to that to spend. And they may even disperse it per month also. So what's that, $30 a month or so? So that's excellent. Yeah, guys. So overall, IQVIA, they're the largest employer. If you want to work for a large company, then this is definitely one you want to look at. Also, Syneos Health is large also. And I think PPD and PRA are the next biggest ones. So you want to look there. Syneos is second largest. They recently merged with Inventive Health, and INC Research came together to make a Syneos. And then you've got IQVIA, which is the largest one. Many more. I think they're large by a wide margin. I think, can we see their revenue here on the overview? Let's see. 2 to 5 billion. I think Syneos is at 2 billion. and IQVIA's is like twice that at least. So very large. And we're gonna keep looking at them. We're gonna see what they do over the next couple of years, a few years. See if Syneos catches up to them, or any of the other players merge together and try and become as large as IQVIA. We'll see. So as always, guys, email us if you have any questions. Comment down below if you have any questions also. If you want to be a part of the resume review program, email us eliteclinicalgroup@gmail.com for any inquiries. Still reviewing resumes, so shoot them over. We'll review them for you. All right, guys. Take care.